Hello everyone and welcome back to the place where we check in with all of the latest happenings from the world of the IPL 2022. The tournament is well and truly in the business mode, and well, what a qualifier one we had last night, and the Gujarat Titans became the first team to seal their spot in the IPL 2002 final. Now obviously most people still haven't gotten over just how good that match was, but arguably there are some who are feeling the brunt of just how that result, and one of them of course are the Rajasthan Royals. Naturally, a very simple message where they said what an innings Milipa, in reference of course to David Miller or Killer Miller absolutely hammering Prasidh Krishna around in that final over. And as you can see also with a slightly annoyed emoji, I wonder why that might be. Well, might be down to the fact that he was part of the Rajasthan Royals but didn't do much for them. I can only speculate, but I think that's a fair enough reason. But they did also very sportingly congratulate the Gujarat Titans for making the final in their debut season. And isn't that what sport is all about? At the end of the day, you know, there are winners, there are losers, but sportsmanship is always important, and that is something that the Gujarat Titans agreed with, because they tweeted out this in reply saying that Har jeet to lagi rehti hai, means you win some and you lose some. And both of these teams will, of course, as mentioned here, be playing in Ahmedabad. So the Rajasthan Royals, with virtue of finishing second, will actually have a second bite of the cherry, and should they win Qualifier 2, seal their spot in the final, where they will be in a rematch against the Gujarat Titans. So whether or not this can happen, that remains to be seen, but don't count out the Rajasthan Royals just yet. They do, after all, possess a very dangerous side capable of winning matches on their day. Now, obviously, the man who was in form last night was, of course, David Miller. And before the season, it's fair to say there were a lot of questions asked of Miller, but he answered all his critics in style, not just in this particular match, but even during the group stages, he played quite a few winning knocks. Of course, this particular winning knock meant a little more because he was playing it against his former team, the Rajasthan Royals. However, that didn't stop the South African from being sporty enough to actually tweet this out after the match. All he said was, "Sorry, Royals family." I mean, at some level, you'd think he enjoyed that match as well, considering the Rajasthan Royals didn't really care enough to retain him. But on the other hand, you'd think that he did actually maybe, feel just a little bad for putting his former side into Qualifier 2. Nevertheless, I'm sure that would be, that feeling would be minute, and he'd be more happy that he took his current team, the Gujarat Titans, into the finals of the IPL in their debut season itself. What a story indeed. And that's in fact the general consensus, if you scan social media just a tad, that the Gujarat Titans have done amazingly well to make it into the finals in their debut season. But it was best summed up, of course, by a man whose social media game is top notch. I am, of course, referring to Wasim Jaffer, where he posted this video of a person absolutely acing an obstacle race, and he said that this is exactly how GT have been this season. They've made a difficult part to the final look very easy, and you know what, I absolutely have to agree with him. GT have made it look very, very easy indeed. They have sometimes won matches from losing situations, but they've made it look very effortless, and you cannot say that they don't deserve to be in this particular final. But of course, what's a Rajasthan Royals match without us at Sports Today mentioning Riyan Parag? Yes, I know we like ragging on him just a little bit, but this time around he just made it really easy on us, because well, he had quite a few incidents during the match. I mean, there was one time where he was seen, absolutely giving a rollicking to Devdutt Padikkal on the field. Then there was that time when he ended up exchanging glances with R. Ashwin when he got run out. So, I mean, plenty of things to pick up on there. But at least one person is seemingly a fan of Parag, and that is India batsman Suryakumar Yadav, who took to Twitter and tweeted out this very simple thing. He said, "Amazing attitude on the field, Riyan Parag." Now again, I have no idea if he was being sarcastic here or not, but Surya is not the type to be snarky, so I'm going to take him on his word and say that he actually meant that attitude was positive. However, Riyan Parag's behavior has been a source of contention all season, and even after yesterday, there were few people who found too much sympathy for the way he behaved, especially considering the fact that all things said and done, he himself hasn't exactly been a star performer, despite the fact that the Royals have very admirably backed him and played him in pretty much every game. So whether or not that changes, I mean, he has had that 150, we must remember, but beyond that, very little. Whether or not that changes, well, he'll have another chance of being able to, add to his match-winning knocks in a bit. when they play qualifier 2. If whether or not he can do it, I mean, that's something we'll only know on the day itself. And with that, I bring to an end this edition of the IPL News Wrap. So thank you all very much for joining me and joining us at Sports Today in particular. If you enjoy what it is that we do, don't forget to like the video, leave us a comment, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And last but not the least, don't forget to use the description in our link to download the Gamezy app to fulfill your fantasy gaming needs. Remember, you stand a chance of winning up to 5 crores on a daily basis, and you can make teams in multiple phases of the match. So what are you waiting for? Download it and get playing ahead of today's eliminator. You stand a chance to win big prizes in multiple phases of the game. Again, thank you for joining us. As always, I've been Shane Dice, and I'll see you guys very soon.